Welcome back to Getting Some Head, baby. I'm Michael fucking Rainey here with my buddy Pat Barker. Pat,
hey, what's
welcome,
up, bud?
Welcome to the Perv Lair.
Dude, I love it. This is it's hard to call this the Perv Lair compared to where we were last night.
Yes, yeah.
This is a major upgrade.
Dude, we had an all-time experience last night. I was supposed to have a show in at this very cool like art studio, and the first comic up had a medical issue right out of the gate, like a very serious medical issue, and like 911 was called, fire trucks came, and it was a very scary scene and like very jarring for everybody involved, and it felt like a BDSM party or something. Like,
Yeah.
it was just a very like ominous feel to the whole night, and like people try to soften the blow. Like everybody was like, you know, trying to like comfort one another. People were ordering pizza. Like it was, everybody made the best out of the situation that you could.
Well, it was like two weird experiences, like back to back. Because before that even happened, we're sitting back there, and I met the young lady and her
Ellie Stockholm.
Yeah. And she's super
She
cool.
rolls, yeah.
And she works, I guess, in like burlesque or something like that. So I had never been to this venue before. It's in East LA, and it's kind of like a warehouse.
Yeah.
And I asked her, I was like, well, what do they do here? And she was telling me about like different shows they put on with all sorts of like sex acts, and she was giving me like ridiculous, like this chick dressed up like a pig, and then they were spraying pig blood everywhere. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Then I go to use the restroom, and for some reason they have a shower that's like big enough for like 1.5 people in there.
Yes.
And I'm like, stuff has happened in that
Yes.
shower that is terrifying.
Yeah.
So already I was like trying to, she was talking about some chick getting, fucked with a knife.
Yeah.
And I had to ask follow-up questions to find out it was a plastic knife. I was like 10 minutes into the conversation. I'm like, can we go back?
Well, I'm glad you like asked that follow-up question, because I would have just gone with a regular knife.
Right.
And thank God you asked for clarification, because, you know, I don't know, I was able to sleep okay last night, and I don't know that I would have if I had known that, you know, it was a normal knife.
Just casually like, oh yeah, and then there was a girl who got fucked with a knife. I was like, oh no.
This is one of those. This is
Yeah.
a lot more pervasive than I thought.
Yeah. Well, the last year has been just like, on a more broad level, like finding out that people are way bigger fucking freaks than I ever realized.
Dude, and I mean, especially here in LA, where there was what is the name of that house? But like there was a rumor that it could have possibly been where the Black Dahlia was murdered. Mm-hmm. What is the name of that place? It's a really unique house in Hollywood. It's kind of like pyramid shaped, and it's got like an Art Deco design to it.
I know the house you're talking
It's
about.
the something house. I think it begins with a G, maybe.
I feel like this is more up your alley than
Yeah,
mine.
but it was owned by a doctor whose son ended up working for the LAPD, and his son swears that this guy is the Black Dahlia killer.
Jesus.
But the backstory is that there were a lot of like parties like that went on in this house, and like girls would just disappear because things would have got out of hand, or like these guys are just drunk with power, and they're just, who's going to stop me?
Right.
And people from the LAPD guys are there taking part in the party. So like, really, who's gonna be the one to haul you in friggin' handcuffs, dude?
Yeah.
But I just go to a party. It's like, I just hope that they have sharp cheddar and and some fucking cherry Coke, man, and I'm good.
Yeah, if they have like a nice charcuterie spread,
Ooh.
and just like if you could choose between like a Heineken and a Peroni, like that's
my
my
God,
kind of party.
yeah.
You know, anything else is a bonus. I don't
Yeah.
need any drugs or hardcore weird sex.
Yeah, I'm good. At this stage of my life, like, I'm good too. It's like, I just want to look at a table and do this with my fingers.
Yeah.
Like that's, and I'm good at that point.
A lady coming by like sliders, you're like, ooh,
Oh,
fuck, yeah,
don't mind
all
if I
right,
do.
nice, yeah.
Oh, it's gonna kill me that I can't think of the name of that house, but I will eventually think of it, man.
We'll fix it in post.
Yes. Oh, dude. But it was like, dude, when you came in, it's like I haven't seen you in so long. When you came in, I was like having a conversation with somebody, and I saw you walk up to my wife, and I'm like, who the fuck is she hugging? And it took me a second to realize, like, oh, it's
Sorry
Pat.
about that.
No. And then, I'm always very happy to see you, but yeah, I was kind of bummed we didn't get to do stand-up on the same show, but, you know, when I come back, hopefully you're available again and we can do it.
Yeah, we're gonna reschedule. We're gonna do it. And you know, the important thing is, God, just it could have been so much worse.
Dude.
Last night. Like I don't know how much you want to get into it, because like even the event like leading up to it was super eerie, because I had talked about something similar, and then all of a sudden I had referenced a similar type of situation, an old story I hadn't told in years. I told, randomly, and then almost recreated itself completely. And then afterwards, everybody was like, damn, dude, words have power. You spoke that into existence. I'm like, you can't put that on me.
No.
He didn't take his medicine or something. I mean, come on.
Pat, I swear to God, like I feel that more than ever. Like I'm much more conscious of even my thoughts, and especially my fucking words now. Last night was I don't know. I feel like we were talking about saying anything mean-spirited or anything, but it was just about something fucked up that had happened. And what we were speaking about was a while back, a mutual friend of ours who was a comic died while he was on stage, and he had a heart attack, and like he fell off the fucking stage. And we were just talking about like, man, like what a good guy he was, and it's like how fucked up it was that it happened. And that's kind of what happened literally fucking 15 minutes later.
But it wasn't just that. It wasn't the conversation we had before that. I was telling the story about the time I was opening for someone at Helium, and they were on stage, and an audience member died. And they canceled the show, and then we had another show after, and they literally wheeled her body out on a gurney in front of the people waiting in line for the next show, and then they left it up to the headliner. It's so funny because I'm telling the story. I'm like, yeah, so they go to the headliner, like, do you want to do the show? And I guess he wouldn't get paid if they didn't, so he did the show, and he gave me a really, like, patronizing speech.
Yes.
And then, not 20 minutes later, something similar, this comedian falls off stage, and I'm like, oh, I hope I didn't guilt Rainey into canceling the show. If he still wants to do it,
I honestly, it's like, that guy is one I'm sure his finances are much different than mine.
Yeah.
And like he was probably making a substantial amount more than I was slated to make. However, with as severe as a health issue as this poor guy had, it wasn't just he tripped and fell. Like there was something like it was like even today it was just like I actually got to hang out with him today, and
did you?
He's good.
Oh, nice.
We went hiking.
God.
We actually went hiking.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so he's fine. But like last night, it was one of the scariest things I've seen.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bit at first, and I thought it was like a very physical act out.
Yeah.
But watching him, like, watching that happen in real time was just like, I cannot, like.
It's crazy. But dude was a trooper. I want to get this on the record.
Yes.
Like, the paramedics showed up, they loaded him into an ambulance, and he was just like, no. He got off of the ambulance. He was like, I'm fine. He wasn't fine, but he was like, he was fighting through it.
Yeah.
And he comes back to the green room, and half the crowd is like left at this point, and he's like, all right, we're starting in 5.
Yes, dude.
It was the comedian equivalent of Rocky. Like, I didn't hear no bell.
Yeah, dude. It was. I mean, I admire his moxie. Like that's a hustler's mentality.
Yeah.
But there was. I mean, for a number of different reasons, like there was no way we could have done that show because of just how jarring that event was, and also like everybody was in such, I don't know, such a dour mood, and it was just like there were a couple people that hung around just to like hang for a little while, and it was like good to be able to just like have like conversations with people just about saying hello and just being in each other's company for a little bit, but. Yeah, the combination of those two conversations, like 15 fucking minutes before
It was wild.
This thing happened, was just, and dude, I like going back to like what I was saying, like being more conscious of like my words and shit, because like, I don't know, I think there's something, I don't know, I feel like my words are like, it isn't me that causes this, but it's like, I feel like I'm much more conscious of my words because I feel like they do have more power than ever over, I don't know, reality or whatever, and I might sound schizophrenic right now.
No,
I try to be really careful about what I say about people, like what I say to people, and just really measure my words because I feel like, in part because I'm very, very deliberate with what I do now. If I want to do something, it's like if I set my mind to something, I'm going to write it out. I'm going to like picture it a million times in my brain, like this is going to happen. But with that said, even like things just mentioned in jest, it's like I think you really have to be careful sometimes because I truly do think words have power.
It made a believer out of me. I mean, you're in LA, which is the manifestation capital.
Yes.
Like every day, 1,000 new people move here who are like, I'm going to manifest my dreams, and like 999 of them are out of the city within like a year because they're not talented. They're like, I'm just going to say it out loud and it's going to happen. It's like, yeah, well, you don't have any skills.
Yeah.
But, so after a while, you're just like rolling your eyes at the idea of it. But like last night was the first time where I was like, maybe I'll just chill just in case.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, even if you're not religious, it's like, I'm not talking shit about God, because what if I'm wrong?
Yes. Yeah, dude, that's
I'm
it.
going to hedge my bets a little bit.
Pat, there's so many times where, like, my wife and I, like, we just talk we spend all fucking day long now that, you know, we are where we are, and it's like, I have the schedule that I have, and, like, you know, she's my best friend. We hang out all the time. We talk about everything, which is anything and everything, every conversation that could be had, we'll talk about. And one of the things that we recently talked about is, she was like saying like something negative about herself, and I was like, stop saying that shit. It's like, in part because like you're eventually going to ingrain those thoughts in your subconscious, and it's one, it's going to bum you out, and two, it's probably going to start affecting your behavior.
Sure.
But on a, I don't know, on a bad juju level and a good juju level too, it's like, I really think you have to be your own biggest advocate and really speak positively about yourself and speak positively about others. But you also have to be really mindful of like the bad shit that you speak, because I don't know, I'm not a fucking witchcraft guy or whatever the fuck you want to call it, but I do think that there is,
right.
I don't know, I think you kind of invite things in your life,
Yeah,
by how you act and like how you talk.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think at the very least, just like carrying yourself and trying to like keep the thoughts positive.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that's like, even from like a comedy perspective, you know, I think most comedians are their own worst enemies. Like, I certainly am, where, you know, that's why I really admire, like, you start so many projects and you get so many things going and you build them from nothing. And I always struggle with building from nothing, because it's like, when you get just past the nothing stage to where it's like, oh, 40 people watch this thing, I'm like, oh, I might as well just go fucking kill myself. Like, wait, why am I going to continue this? Right? But you have to get past 40 and get to 50 and just keep going.
But dude, even to that, like there was, you know, I think I've mentioned it a handful of times before, but like when I did my first podcast, I was always afraid to ask how many people were listening. Yeah. And I purposely, like, deliberately did not ask the producer how many people were listening. And then one day I was just like, I gotta know, because we were like 15 episodes in, like, how many people like listened last week? And he said something like 65, and I was like, 65 people listen to this?
Yeah.
And dude, I think if that were the case right now, and it's like, I'm not shattering any fucking world records with the amount of people that listen or watch like this show, but it's like, if you can get anybody to watch anything you do, because like the variety, you could literally any fucking weird thing that you're into right now, mm-hmm. there's somebody who is obsessed with it and is producing like highly produced content relative to that.
Yeah.
So anything you can do, I think, is just like, holy shit, like, I can't believe this many people watch this shit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's what I have to keep reminding myself. Did that take a lot of like effort for you to keep reminding yourself of that? Did you have to build that up, or?
Dude, it was I think it was a combination of things, in part because, dude, quitting drinking was like the best decision I ever made for a lot of reasons. But one of them was, it allowed me to get the fuck out of my own way and allowed me mm-hmm. to figure out exactly what I want. Because, you know, one of the biggest realizations I had in trying to like unravel all that shit is that I was so dependent upon the acknowledgement of other people. And I functioned almost entirely, especially like in a creative way, upon what other people might like.
Yeah,
just hoping that they like it, praying that they'll like me, praying that they'll like what I do. But eventually, like, just coming to grips with, like, okay, I'm desperate for attention. And it's like, I don't want to feel that way all the time. Like,
sure.
I don't like that about myself, and I want to get past that. And I think the clearest path away from that is to decide what I really want.
Yeah.
And I think in deciding, like, what you really want, it really fucking, it helps eliminate that, because it's like comparison truly is the thief of joy. And I think once you can be like, all right, what do I really want? And for me, what I really want, more than anything else, I like feeling free. In a lot of different respects. It's like, I like feeling free of not having an employer, like not having to answer to a boss who I don't respect. I want to keep making more and more money to be financially free, to allow like myself to be able to do more, to give my kids more opportunities, to give my wife more opportunities.
Yeah.
Everything is just different levels of freedom. And I think with that kind of shit as my driving force, it really has made it much easier to not be like, well, this guy's doing a similar podcast and he's got 100,000 downloads an episode or 100,000 views. And it's like, I have the life that I have, and it's like there's probably, granted, like getting some head is like one of the things I do. It's like maybe 1,000 people will watch this, maybe a few thousand will listen to it, and it's like I'm good with that.
Sure.
Just because it's allowing me to do this shit. Like right now, I'm hanging out in Los Angeles for the week with my fucking wife, talking to my friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to me, like that's success, and being able to unravel all of that shit to get to a point where it's like, okay, what do I want?
Sure.
I want to be free. Be free to do this kind of stuff. If I had $1 billion in the bank, I would still be sitting in here with you right now.
Right.
Well, no, we might be sitting in like the fucking Ritz-Carlton.
Maybe a little bit nicer
Yeah,
hotel.
we would be getting our feet fucking
This place has a sick lobby, by the way.
It is pretty nice.
Once you get out of the lobby, it's it's fine.
But yeah, long story short, like that's what it took to kind of like get away from that, because I always want more of like everything.
Sure.
Because it's just more than anything else, because more people watching, more Patreon subscribers, more advertisers means like more freedom. And it's like, if I'm free to do more, then I can make more of what I want. And that's all it boils down to for me.
Yeah. And when you're making stuff that you want to make, like you say, it'll find the audience.
I think so too.
Rather than trying to figure out who, like, what would people enjoy? That's like the worst question you could ask.
Dude.
For personal projects. You know what I mean? Like I make my living doing a lot of writing that I don't particularly care about, but like I take pride in the fact that I'm good and I can find whatever voice people need me to find. But yeah, for a personal project, if you're going to invest your time in something, it's got to be something you're really into. Otherwise, what a waste.
I know, because I've done it creatively, and I know I've also done it for like day jobs where it's just, those are the things that just make you like pray for buses to fucking smash you. It's like, I want to get creamed by a Waymo because I don't know if I can do this for one more fucking day, man.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Slightly related to that, but off topic, and then we can get into whatever you were going to talk about.
Yeah.
But this triggered something to me. So I go to therapy. Everybody goes to therapy, right? And they make you fill out that questionnaire every like 2 weeks. And it's basically like, you thinking about killing yourself? And that's 14 variations of that question. Yeah. And I got into a big argument with my therapist because one of the questions was, have you in the last 2 weeks thought of hurting yourself or had the thought that you would be better off dead?
Yeah, 100% I have.
And like, it's like, doesn't everybody think that like all the time? But my argument was, that's asking two completely different things in the same question.
Okay.
Like, have I thought of killing myself? No.
Yeah.
No, I haven't, because it seems like more effort than I'm willing to put in. I got to go get a license to get a guy. I got to jump off a thing. I'm not doing all that. But have I had the thought that if I happen to be walking across the street and randomly a bus hits me, would that be the worst thing in the world? I have that thought every time I cross the street, right? Like, am I wrong, or are those two completely different things?
They are two completely different things, and also I think it's a trap, because it's I don't know, man. There's I feel like generally I'm now a pretty happy guy, but there was a day where probably 2 weeks ago I woke up to 3 separate messages for random people, like random like money things that were just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And it was just like, all right, I've got these are insane, and I've got to like push off things that I plan on doing today to address these 3 things. And at that point, it's just like, yeah, I would love for a bus to cream me in that moment, but realistically, it's like, no, it's like I'm going to address them. But if I'm being shown a questionnaire from a therapist in that moment, if I answer that question honestly, I'm going to be institutionalized.
Right. Eventually, my therapist was like, you have to stop answering questions, honestly. She was like, because I don't think you're suicidal, but the answers you're giving point in a different direction. So like, you got to stop that. Yeah. And I was like, all right, done. So now I'm just like, yeah, everything's great.
Dude, one of the things I like about traveling is I like seeing like new billboards with new personal injury attorneys.
Bro, you want to talk about we're going to talk in a second. Go ahead.
Okay, but it's like if I go to a new city, it's like, all right, I would if something terrible happens to me, and all right, I know I'm going against everything I just spoke about with measuring my words carefully. Yeah, because I hope I'm not inviting a personal injuy episode into my life. But it's like, damn, oh damn, I would get him. It's like, oh, that guy's awesome. Like I would get him. Like there's a guy in Austin. It's a white dude with dreads named David Comey, And it's like, dude, I would 100% get that guy for being 50 and having dreads.
Yeah, of course.
It's like there's no doubt that would be my guy.
He needs this case.
Yeah, it's like
he's
he needs
going
the
to
money
win.
worse than I do.
Yeah. He can't afford to lose. My son, 8 years old, has autism, and of course, autism is like different flavors for everybody, right? And he has these like weird obsessions. Like, you know, the stereotype is like they're really into trains. He doesn't give a fuck about trains.
Yeah.
But one thing he's really into, I swear to God, this is true, are personal injury attorney billboards.
I can identify with this 100%.
He knows every billboard, what it was, what it changed into, and he gets butt because he does gymnastics right here in Pasadena. And on the drive from gymnastics to Chick-fil-A, every week he goes, "Aw, where's the Larry H. Parker billboard?" And we go, "Verizon paid more money this month, bud. It's a Verizon billboard now." And he goes, "Oh man." And I go, "How does that make you feel?" He goes, "Sad."
Oh, dude.
And I'm like, what would Larry H. Parker do? He goes, "He would fight for you."
Oh, dude.
He has all their slogans down.
I think, did you see the Disney commercial recently where I think it's at Disney on Ice, and a mom and a dad take their son, who's probably about like 5, to see Disney on Ice, and as soon as Mickey appears, the kid starts crying, and he's like, "That's my boy, that's my boy."
I love that.
Like, this is like the "That's my boy" version of Larry H. Parker, man.
Bro, he would much rather meet Larry H. Parker than Mickey. Like, we go to Disneyland. I'm like, "Do you want to meet Mickey?" He's like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm good." But if Morgan and Morgan were there,
oh my God,
dude, come on.
Bro, you have to contact these people and be like, "Look, you might not have gotten this yet, but like, my son loves you so much, man, and he's 8. Yeah, it's like he's 8, but we would hire you in a heartbeat just to have you around."
We got free swag, and I got a response from the Geico Gecko on Instagram.
Whoa.
Yeah, because for a while he was into like car insurance, and this was like he was still mostly nonverbal. He like wasn't really talking a whole lot, but he would just randomly be like, "Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance." So we filmed it, and we like we tagged them, and they were like, "We want to send you like a plush lizard."
Oh, that's very
and we were
sweet.
like, "Hell yeah!"
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if Larry H. Parker has a plush. Would you feel okay if like having a plush Larry H. Parker in the house?
I can't believe I'm about to answer this question this way, but yeah, I'd be all for it. If you had asked me a few months ago, I'd be like, "No, get that pervert away from my kid." But now I'm like, nah.
Now, how does he feel about Sweet James?
Not a Sweet James guy.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no. He likes Sweet James. He doesn't like Jacob Emrani. Because
I'm not aware of him.
The one billboard that popped up that's still there, I think it's year-round, is 1-800-CALL-JACOB.
Okay.
And every time he gets bummed out, we're like, "Jacob's still there." He's like, he doesn't he doesn't care. He does ask about Sweet James, though, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are his big
name.
3, Larry H. Parker, Morgan and Morgan, Sweet James.
Dude, John Morgan's a very funny guy, man. I watched a podcast episode with him, and he's a very charming guy. It's easy to see, like, he's just like the ultimate personal injury attorney. It's like he's got everything you could possibly want. You
really are deep in this culture. I didn't.
I'm
You know their
getting
first
deeper and
names?
deeper. Yeah, it's like, dude, please look up his stuff because he's just a really captivating guy.
Okay.
I mean, 1, seems like an incredible lawyer. 2, like as a businessman, and 3, just is a very gifted speaker.
Okay.
And there's another guy. I think they have him out here. Do they have Top Dog out here?
Maybe. I'll have to ask my son. And get
James
back to
Helm is the guy's name who started Top Dog Law. But he changed his website recently, so this isn't on there anymore. And it really bums me out that he changed it. But I looked it up when I was in Chicago, just because I was looking up Chicago personal injury guys. And his bio at the time, the first sentence in his bio was, "I showed up to my senior prom high on ecstasy." Just like, all right, that's my guy. That is going to be my guy.
That was in the About Me section of his website?
But it was like, and it did tie in because eventually he's just like, "I overcame like addiction to drugs."
Yeah.
And I was just like, I have a greater purpose and now I'm fulfilling it every day, which is really inspiring. But it's, as far as like a first line in a bio, you think that's like,
Got my attention.
I know. It's
a hell of an elevator
Yeah,
pitch.
he nailed it. And that's why it bums me out that he changed it. Because it was like, I would hire you in a heartbeat if I was in that position. I got to stop talking about this because I feel like I'm going to invite it into my life, man.
Let's change topics.
Yeah. But, oh, man. I can't stop thinking
Choose
about
those words carefully, buddy. I can see you running through everything you're about to say in your head and being like, "Oh, no."
All right. I would add one more thing. He's so cool. He's an Eagles fan, too.
Uh-huh.
So he's just so likable. It's like he made a Rough Riders anthem parody to promote Hit Top Dog Law.
Yeah.
It's like, they all seem like, to me, it's like I have a soft spot for for people like that. And it's like, I just love any guy that goes to those lengths to promote himself.
Yeah.
And especially coming from the depths and just loving Rough Riders Anthem enough to be like, all right, I'm going to hire a bunch of guys on dirt bikes to do this with, and we're going to make it as incredible as possible, and people will not forget this.
Random Philly comedy memory unlocked. When you said Rough Riders parody, I just immediately imagined I'm up 2 people from now at an open mic in a pizza shop, and Keith from Up the Block shows up, and he's about to do an hour-long set, and I'm like, well, I'm fucked. I'm not getting up tonight. The Black Weird Al, and he had that song, God. Stop, Drop, A Token in a Token Slot. That's how bus riders roll.
Yes.
That was one of his classics. He would come up and do, like, it was, everybody was doing 5 minutes on a mic, and he would do an hour and 20.
Dude, and
it was so obnoxious.
Yeah, it was. And he was just so entertaining, so funny. He had me wanting to get married. And like, I've been with my wife for 25. We're going to get married soon. But there was the longest time where I was just like, I don't want it to you. She's like, not really. I really don't care.
Yeah.
But like watching him, of course, I probably had about, 12 beers that night. My wife was there with me, and like, we both just loved Keith from Up the Block. And I was like, Keith, someday we're going to get married. Would you be able to do the wedding? And he's like, yeah, 100%, man. But I think that's the ultimate sign of like a performer, where it's just like, you make me want to get married just so I can have you at my wedding.
Yeah.
Like the marriage is secondary to having Keith from Up the Block perform at the fucking wedding.
And then of course he ended up on the episode of was it Maury?
I don't remember.
He was on one of those shows. Took a lie detector because his girlfriend was accusing him of cheating, and he was just like, "Nah, I didn't cheat." And she had what seemed like pretty bulletproof evidence, but he was just doing the Shaggy thing where he's like, "Nah, it wasn't me."
That's all you got to do.
And then they do that thing where I don't know how many questions they have to ask to ascertain like this level of information, but they're like, "You said you did not cheat on her. That is a lie. You cheated on her over 4,000 times." It was some absurd number. He's like, "Oh hell no, Mario. It was like 3,000 times." Dude, it was so funny.
Dude, I want to. You mentioned it briefly a little while ago before we got started on the personal injury attorneys.
Yeah.
But I love what you've done since coming out here. Like, I don't think I can't think of anything more difficult for somebody in comedy to do than to just be like, all right, I'm moving from Philly to Los Angeles, and I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah.
You did it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're currently doing it. Can you talk about where you came from? Like last night, you were talking about working at Foot Locker and working at CVS, to eventually to the point where you're at now, where it's like you're a hired joke writer. And it's like, you make a living doing that, which is like, how many people can fucking say that? Especially just saying like, okay, I'm just going to do this, and just dropping everything to do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't recommend it the way I did it. It's not the ideal way. Everything I did was counterintuitive to how you should do it, and it worked. But there's a lot of things that I didn't do by the books. I didn't move here till I was 30, which is ancient in LA years.
Yeah.
And then, I chose LA without any sort of plan. I'm not good at networking. All the years at Helium, like opening for people, I had no contacts. I didn't keep in touch with any of them. I'm not good at that. I don't like that, right? So I moved out here with no plan. And the reason I chose LA over New York was like twofold. Number one, I hate New York.
Same.
It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
It's not. I like going for a few days, but like I could never live there. It's too fast. There's too many people. I get claustrophobic. Couldn't do it. But number two, I saw a lot of our friends leave and move to New York, and we would have like going away parties for them. We'd be like, "Damn, dude, you're a New York comic now." And then you go up to New York, and it's really tough, but you're still getting booked in Philly. Yeah. You're still getting booked in the suburbs of Philly. So it's like they would leave, and then they'd be back every weekend to make $60 at Chuckles. And it's like, I knew if I moved to LA, I was either going to succeed or fail, but there would be no safety net. Like, I wouldn't be tempted to fly back to make, $100. Yeah. I would have to just dive in and fucking figure it out, or not. And either way, at least I would have like an answer. So that's kind of what that was all about. And then I kind of like backdoored my way into things. That's why I'll get like young comics who are like, can you I have questions about how to make it in the industry. I'm like, dude, I still don't know. I've been out here 13 years. I'm making my living as a writer. I don't have an agent. I don't have a manager. I don't have any idea. I'll write a pilot and then nothing happens because I'm like, I don't even know who to send it to. I'm just writing it just to keep myself like entertained. But like, I don't know how any of that industry shit works. Literally, all of my gigs are because I crushed the first gig I got, which led to 2 more gigs, and then that led to 2 more, and it's just like the branches of a fucking tree. And all of my work is either repeat work or recommended from somebody else that I worked for, and it's not always the most consistent. But knock on wood, so far, it's the last few years it's been pretty good.
Hello, head getters. This episode of Getting Some Head is sponsored by Row, baby. If you're looking for better nights in the bedroom, Row Sparks are here to help. Row Sparks are 2-in-1 prescription treatment for better, longer erections. That's right, you heard me. Better, longer erections. They dissolve under your tongue and work in 15 minutes on average. So you can be ready whenever the moment arises, and everyone can have a great time in bed. Listen, I've been enjoying Row Sparks for about 8 months now, and I cannot say enough good things about Row Sparks, baby. 15 minutes under your tongue, you're ready to rock. And boy, this is magic in a little packet, baby. Row connects guys with a medical provider 100% online, and treatments shipped discreetly. That means no awkward conversations or in-person wait rooms. If prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off your first order of Sparks on a recurring plan. Connect with a provider at row.co/head. To find out a prescription Row Sparks are right for you, that's ro.co/head for $15 off your first order. Compounded drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law, but are not FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. For safety information, go to row.co/safety info. Row Sparks, baby.
Dude, I think more than anything else, 2 things come to mind, and I think like this could probably be applied to any kind of endeavor that you want to succeed at. You're really good at what you do, and you're very easy to get along with. Like how much do you think those 2 qualities have played into your success more than anything else?
I think that's the key. You got to be just easy to work with and deliver, an A+, because there's so many people out here who are satisfied giving a B-. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, that was the one advantage that I had to moving at 30, because I didn't really get my first real, like, I'm not even going to say real writing job. I got hired when I was, I guess, 32. Somebody was, they were roasting the NFL owners. Mm-hmm. And I got a chance to write, and they were like, "Yeah, I need the jokes in 4 days. If I pay you $250, can you give me 30 jokes?" And I was like, "Sure." And I think if I was 22, I would have written 30 jokes, mm-hmm. and I would have turned them in. And I probably would have never talked to that person again. Yeah. But I was like, "Man, there's 32 teams. What if I try to do 10 jokes per owner?"
Whoa!
And I just kind of like locked myself in my room, and I wrote 323 jokes, and I sent them in, and the guy, lost his mind. And it just, he bombed the gig because it turns out they didn't know it was a roast. They thought it was like a party. And then in the middle, they're like, here's some asshole to make. And it turns out like a bunch of like 80-year-old white billionaires are not the most, self-deprecating people. Uh-huh. So he bombed. But then afterwards he was like, dude, I love what you did. Come to my, come over to my house a couple days a week, be my writing assistant. I'll pay you a little bit of money, whatever. And then a couple months down the line, like, he had connections, people he worked with on The Daily Show. They were coming out to L.A. to do the Bill Simmons show on HBO. He had dinner with them. They were like, do you know any, like, good under-the-radar writers we should talk to? And he was like, oh, yeah, talk to Pat Barker. And when you say easy to get along with, I had an interview with these guys, and I'm panicking because I'm like, I don't have anything to talk about. I've never worked in TV. He goes, go get a new pair of sneakers, because I wear shitty, just, like, runner sneakers. Mm. He's like, go get a pair of sneakers that hurt your feet but look cool. He's like, and just go and just be a guy that they would want to be like, yeah, I want to hang out with this guy 5 days a week in the office. He's like, that's it. You don't have to prove yourself at all. Mm-hmm. Once you're in that room, just be somebody that they would want to hang out with. Wow. So like, I always try to remember that. And just like, I try to treat people the right way. And I think that comes back.
And you do. Like, yeah.
But it comes back to you. And if it doesn't, then, what's the harm in treating people the right way? Mm-hmm. It's not like totally a strategic thing. I just think it pays off.
How many times where you felt like, all right, if something doesn't happen by next week, I have to figure something else out?
Well, I mean that happened. I got a day job for the first time in a couple of years in 2022, coming out of the pandemic. Like everything was kind of shut down, and I got this job just working like weekends. And really, as soon as I got the job, like other work started pouring in, and I had to leave. Pretty much immediately. I ended up working there for maybe like a year, but towards the end, it was like, I can only cover one shift every 3 months. And they were like, we can't do this. I'm like, yeah, of course, that's crazy. But no, I felt like such a failure when that happened. I mean, when I had to go and like clock into a job again, I absolutely felt like and that day might come again. I mean, who knows? I'm hoping it doesn't. Things are going pretty well, but like the whole thing is so unpredictable that like, but you have those moments all the time, especially when I got 2 kids now, so it's bigger than me. Like I can't have enough pride to just be like, well, we might have to miss a few credit card payments. And it's like, no, the kids, they need a place to live and a place to eat. And if that means I got to go work at a fucking coffee shop for, a few months, I guess that's what I'll do. Mm-hmm. God forbid. I mean, please, if any of you out there have a writing job, send it my way. Like, I don't want to do that, but if you got to do it, you got to do it.
When you were younger, did you anticipate that you would end up doing what you're doing right now?
No, I didn't even know it was a possibility. Mm-hmm. That's one of like and it's so funny because like you learn all these lessons and you're like, I'm going to apply this to my kids. Mm-hmm. And then the world changes so much that it's like, who even, my son's 8. By the time he's ready to choose a career path, like, AI will have replaced everybody. None of it matters. But like in retrospect, the thing that got me was I grew up in a small town in South Jersey. And the biggest thing I could imagine doing with my life was like managing a CVS, because the CVS was the biggest building in our town. And I was like, oh, if I could do that, that would be pretty cool. And I did end up managing a CVS, not that one, a few towns over. But like the idea that, and I look at it now, like forget comedy for a second. Like I'm a big baseball guy. I'm like, man, if in a parallel universe somewhere, I'm a play-by-play announcer. You know what I mean? Like I would give everything I have up in a second to go do that if I could, but I'm not toiling my way through the minor leagues at this point in my life. But, what I realized moving to LA is it's so scary for so long because you're like, oh, these people writing for TV, these are special people that have some sort of like God-given gift. And then you get in a room with them, you're like, these are just the same fucking idiots that you work with at literally any other job. The only difference is they had the balls or the delusion or whatever to just go after this thing. They're not special people. Some of them are, but the vast majority are just regular people, right? So it took me so long to realize that there was life outside of the small town, and then I started doing comedy in Philly, and then to realize there was life outside of Philly, and it's like, man, you really can do it. They need people to do these jobs. Like, people have to like go for them, but I just couldn't even fathom that.
Do you remember a specific moment where you were just like, I'm going to leave this you were managing a CVS, like where I'm leaving this CVS and I'm going to give it a shot?
Yeah, I mean, I knew, I don't have a specific moment where I made the decision. It was kind of like I was approaching my 30th birthday and I had climbed the ladder as high as it goes in Philly, this was the pre-podcast era. So at the time, it was like I was featuring at Helium. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the end game.
That was as good as it got in Philly.
That was it.
Yeah.
There was nothing else. You had beaten the game. So it's like I had to leave. I knew I had to leave. But I do remember the day that I told my boss that I wanted to transfer, because initially I took a transfer with CVS and I managed one out here for like 3 months. It was fucking brutal and I quit. But I took a transfer initially, and that's the scariest moment, not the actual move. It's like when I proposed to my wife, the scariest moment was calling her mom and being like, asking for permission. Because now there's no putting the toothpaste back in the tube. Once her mom knows it's coming, like you can't get cold feet, you got to do it. So once I tell my boss and he starts like making calls and arranging a transfer, like it's really happening. So it was my 30th birthday present to myself. I had inventory on my birthday, April 23rd. I was turning 30, and inventory is a nightmare. Like you have to put in insane hours and your salary, so you're not getting paid any extra. And I worked 36 straight days leading up to it. Some days it was my day off. I would only come in for like 3 or 4 hours, and I would just be in the stock room the whole time. But 36 straight days I was in the store, probably averaging like 10 hours a day, because I wanted that inventory to go perfectly. And as soon as it was over, my boss were up in the office. He's like, everything's looking great, man. Congratulations. And I was like, we got to talk. And I was like, I want to do this thing. And he was like, great. Let's make it happen. He was so supportive, man.
Oh, that's so fucking cool to hear, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've had bosses who would not have been supportive. And my boss out here, the district manager out here, was a dickhead. But like the guy in Jersey, Mike O'Reilly was his name. And he was just, he was a total sweetheart. And he was just like, you tell me what section of the city you want to live in. I'm like, what do you, I didn't even know how big LA was. He's like, well, do you want to be in like Pasadena or Rancho Cucamonga? And I'm like, what? Is that a real place? Like, so I started
you're
researching.
fucking with me now.
Yeah, exactly. And but that was my 30th birthday. That was my gift to myself.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah.
Man, I love hearing shit like this because I have a ton of respect for people that are just willing to fucking take the leap, no matter what it's for. And a lot of times it's for guys that are just fucking fed up with just working for somebody else and just want to be like, I just want to do my own thing and be my own boss and just do what I want to fucking do and just figure it out. How much do you think just keeping your feet moving plays into you being able to do what you do?
That's everything. That's all you can do. That's all you can control. There's so much that's beyond your control. Like right now, I'm in a situation where it's like not only on a micro level is it not totally within my control whether or not I get hired for jobs. And, you know, with the era of like, and we're still in it where it's like, you know, writers' rooms have to make sure they have a certain number of people who match different criteria. I lost out on certain jobs where I was told like off the record, like, yeah, they're just not hiring any like white guys right now. And I never let that, I let it bother me for like 30 seconds. And then I was like, dude, you can't make this your personality. You can't be the guy who's who's like, this is bullshit. It's like, it's the reality. Mm-hmm. You just got to fucking deal with it and move on. Because that's the only thing you can control. On a micro level, you can't control whether or not you get in that room. On a macro level, there might be a civil war tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, sorry, speaking shit into existence, but I feel like that one has enough precedence. Like, I didn't think that one.
We're so powerful right now, man.
I know, man. I should shut the fuck up. But everything in life, 90% of it is just so far beyond your control. And the one thing you can control is just keep moving forward and keep working on something. Because the second you stop, you fly off the fucking treadmill. And it's so hard to get back on, you know?
Dude, you're a top tier dad. And
oh, thanks, man.
I always like asking guys because it didn't come as naturally to me as like I would have hoped. I feel like I feel like I fought fatherhood for so long. It was like I would have one foot in and where it's just like I love this baby. I love, you know, holding her, taking care of her, but I'm also going to go party, and there's nothing that's going to stop me from going out tonight. And it's one of the true regrets that I have that I just wasn't 100% all in towards my wife and my baby when I needed to be.
Yeah.
I know that's entirely different for you. Do you feel like fatherhood was just the second you saw your son, it was just like, I have it. Like, did something unlock within you, and were you able to just...
No, I still don't feel like I have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I think that's normally the sign of somebody, if you're self-reflective,
yeah,
those are the people who excel at a given task.
For sure. I always say the funniest comedians are the ones who get up in front of a crowd of 1,000 and can tell you the one person that wasn't laughing versus the people... who get up and bomb and come back and go, insane. I crushed. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like some people just have those ears where they hear laughter that's not actually there. It's fucking crazy. But like the funniest people are never like satisfied. So to me, that is a sign that I'm doing it right, that I'm constantly like, oh, I could be doing better as a dad. I think I'm pretty good, but like it's scary. Yeah, you're constantly like worried. I wish I made more money. I wish I had, you know, more stored away, and you know I could provide more like stability and comfort and everything like that, and you know. But I think again, you worry about what you can control, and like what I can control is like being present and just being there. And so many dads, I mean, even the fact that you were there, even if you were like, oh yeah, half the time I wasn't there, half the time you were, and that puts you ahead of like a lot of situations.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to look back and be reflective, but
yeah, and I think that realization has served me well, because I feel like I have a pretty good gauge of when I'm doing things well and when I'm really not doing things well. And now I'm infinitely better than I was in 2003 when I first became a dad. Like, fuck, I remember when my wife said she was going into labor. The first thing I did was get a Budweiser out of the fridge and put on. I had a 5-disc CD changer, and I played Master of Puppets. And I just blasted it as loud as I could, and I was just like slugging fucking Budweisers back because I knew that version of the party was over.
Oh my God.
And then eventually...
You had a bachelor party for becoming a dad? Yes. Like, while your wife was dilating? That's insane.
And fortunately, Jamie's the coolest fucking lady on the planet, so she was just... Like, she knew it's like when it was time to go, we would get in the car and I would take her. And, I drunk drove my wife to the hospital to deliver our baby.
Dude, Jamie put up with a lot of shit from you over the years, man.
There's times where we fight, and... as soon as like we're separated, I'm just like, this is not worth fighting over, if for no other reason. Like moments like that where I'm just like, I stressed her out fucking way more than a person needed to be fucking stressed out. So like any moment of peace that I can provide for this fucking poor girl, like she deserves it more than anybody else, man. But looking back like on shit like that, it's like, you know, there's so many different things that like I realized like, okay, there's nothing I can do to change that. Right. However, like you said, you can control what you can control right now. I could be a fucking baby and just be like, oh, maybe I wasn't do this. It's like, It's like, come on, man. That's like, that doesn't really serve anybody. But what it does serve is like now. And it's like, I can choose to fucking be absent and just, you know, not be as attuned to like my wife and kids' needs.
Yeah.
Or I could just be like, all right, what do you guys need? Tell me what you need. And it's
like,
and if I don't see it, tell me.
And I tell my wife that all the time. I'm like, you got to stop assuming that I can like understand even the most basic things. I can't. Like, don't ever assume that I get what's happening. Just spell it all out for me. Like, don't do this thing where like, you know, a week down the line, you've been letting this thing boil up for a week, and you're like, well, nobody's changed the cat litter. I'm like, just let me. I forgot we had a cat. Like, I don't fucking. I'm an idiot. I'm a stereotypical sitcom dad. I mean well. I'm a dumb. Like, just tell me to change the litter and I'll do it. Right. Yes. So, but listening and like adapting, and that's a big part of like being a dad too. Like, when my son was diagnosed with autism, like I always tell people, they're like, well, what's that like? And it's like, it's not any worse. It's just different. Because you have these preconceived notions in your head. You're like, oh, I'm going to take him to ball games. I'm going to take him to like superhero movies. We're going to go to Disneyland. And then he's like, I would rather go to a parking lot where the spaces are numbered and take a picture in front of every space and then come home and upload the pictures into an album, which we send to CVS, which we can then get printed out. This is a real thing that he used to do. He was like big on this. And we would have to get 100 pictures printed out at CVS of 100 different numbers in a parking lot. And then he would take scissors and cut them out and like glue them on the floor and recreate the parking lot from memory.
That's very cool.
And all of a sudden, I'm like, well, I guess I'm a parking lot guy now. You know what I mean? Like, I could fight this thing and be like, you're going to come to Disneyland and be miserable. Or I could save $1,200 and just be like, yeah, I fucking love parking lots. Yeah. Like, this is my thing. So whatever he's into, I'm into. And I think, just being, like, in the moment and listening and, like, adapting and all that. And, like, everybody's going to fuck up, you know? Like, but you just do your best.
And, dude, like, that kind of stuff. Whenever I hear that like one of my friends is about to have a kid, or if somebody asks like, hey, do you have any like tips? And it's like, there's nothing that anybody could ever say to prepare you for what you're about to embark upon, because there's so many, I don't know, there's just so many different elements where no matter how many times like somebody said this kind of thing might happen, or this kind of thing might happen, or you might have to deal with this, you just can't. It's like, it feels like working out does when you're just trying to get in shape, where it's just like, I'm going through hell right now. I don't have the answer. I don't know if I'm ever going to get in shape, and I don't know if I can fucking do this.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest benefit to having kids and like having a spouse is that they're going to stretch you to points where you didn't know you were capable of, and that's going to result in growth for you. But more importantly, it's like a reciprocity of love that like that version you could have never foreseen.
Yeah.
Where it's like when you say you have like these preconceived notions of what you want to do, and then it's like you have your son has different ideas. It's like you're showing him you love him, and he's showing you that he trusts you enough to do this thing, fulfill like this desire that he has.
Yeah.
So it's like you both get to exhibit love toward each other, and it's just like that's all this is.
Yeah.
And that's all that you could expect out of any kind of human relationship, where it's like, I think whether it's a friendship whether it's a marriage or whether it's like a father-kid relationship, is like, I got your back, and I just want you to know that whatever you need, I got you. And it's like, you're going to give me things that, like, you're going to give me infinitely more than I could ever give you.
Oh my God, yeah.
And it's like, that kind of shit is like, you can never tell somebody like the depth to which like that kind of shit will be present on a regular basis.
I mean, it's truly, it's
Dude,
insane. And I'm feeling it. Like, I'll ask you this because you also have a boy and a girl.
Mm-hmm.
With the girl, like my son, I felt that connection like instantly and everything like that. But with my daughter, there's something different where like
Yes.
I hold her and like she looks like into my eyes and I'm just like, she's got me wrapped around her finger immediately. Like, I know I'm going to be a sucker and just like, you know, total daddy's girl.
Yeah.
And like, we just have this weird, like, she's not even like talking or crawling yet, but it's just like, it just feels different.
It is there. Like, the father-son relationship is definitely different than the father-daughter. Like with my son, it was like, it's not maybe easier, but like more of just, some things are just like, it's easier to operate around one another, I think. Whereas like, I've struggled with like every kind of female relationship I've had, whether it's, you know, with my wife initially or even with my daughters. It's taken more like effort to just be like more like attuned to what they need.
Yeah.
And I get, you know, just from, you know, fucking self-analyzation and just fucking, you know, going through like fucking therapy process where it's like, I had a very difficult relationship with my mother, and there's no doubt that impacted every female relationship I had. So I think that might be that's probably at the root of it. However, there is that where there's just like a different feeling behind it.
Yeah.
And to that point, like there was an incident like where my girls are older now. They're 22 and 19, and they both work at the same restaurant. They're both servers at the same restaurant. And a few weeks ago, my daughter was like serving a table who they brought their dog in with them, and the dog fucking bit her.
Oh yeah, I saw this. Yeah.
Dude. And it was like my daughter Olivia's, she's the toughest person I know. And it's like, from the time she was fucking little, even now, it's like, no matter what happens to her, she's just like, it is what it is. It's fine. Like, I watched her fucking, she broke her arm when she was, I think, 4. Fell off the steps, broke her arm. She cried a little bit. And then as we're debating whether or not, like, the severity of how hurt she was, she goes, she grabs her blanket, she grabs her cup, she lays on the couch, and she takes a nap. And Jamie and I were like, I guess she's okay. She probably just startled, but no, it's like, she broke her arm and she needed fucking pins. But like,
oh my God.
But like, that was indicative of how tough she was.
That's
where it was just
crazy.
like, I don't feel like dealing with this right now. I'm going to take a nap. But that's been the story throughout her life. But that night where she got bit by a fucking dog at work, which is insane. I was doing a Zoom podcast with Del Calo and Jake, and I had a Pooh Shiesty on, and Olivia calls, and I was just like, it's probably like, if she's texting me, it's usually about like Harry Styles or the WNBA or UT women's basketball. I'm just like, all right, we can wait till I'm done the podcast. She FaceTime called a second time, like, this is probably something I have to answer. So I answered her FaceTime call on the Pooh Shiesty, and like, she's crying. And like, instantly, it's like something unlocks within you. It's like when your daughter's crying, because it's different. Like, if my son's crying, I remember one time he was crying about the haircut he got, and I was just like, dog, I could pull over and slap the fucking teeth out of your fucking mouth right now. Like, don't ever cry about a fucking hair. As a man, don't ever fucking cry about a haircut again. Yeah. Let alone in front of me. Just don't cry about a fucking haircut. But as soon as I saw Olivia crying, it was what can I do to fix this?
Yeah.
That's what it became. And it's like, it was, you know, she explained the situation, and like, I addressed it, and I think we came to the best resolution possible to it.
I'm going to ask you off air what that was.
I'll tell you right now.
You handled that like some mafia shit. Like, you were posting on Instagram, you're like, can anybody identify this guy? And then the follow-up story was like, I've obtained the information I was searching for. Thank you, everyone.
I met him. Like, and I called him, and I got his number, and I called him, and I was like, this is insane, man. Like, I'm not even going to, like, what happened? And he's just saying what he was saying, and I was like, I think it would do a lot if we met and you apologized to her face to face. He agreed to it, and we did do that. But then also, it's like, again, like, as far as like the protectiveness sets in, it started to get very heated.
Yeah.
And I know that if that happened to my son, it would have been much different.
Yeah.
It would just, you know, I would have still defended him, but not there's
For
just
sure.
something within you that's like, I don't know, like a fucking a primal defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Where when you have a girl, you just, I got your back no matter what.
Oh, I'll be talking to my daughter, and I'm like, if any man ever breaks your heart, I'll kill him.
Yeah.
And she's looking up at me like, what the what? I'm 4 months old. Like, what are you talking about?
Those
But
are going to be her first words.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I feel that, so I'm glad I'm not crazy.
No, it is, and it's like, I don't know, that, and that's another thing that nobody could ever tell you, like just how different it is. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's the variations of love that you feel, and it's, I don't know. I feel like the luckiest guy on the planet for a million different reasons, but you know, it's my wife and I. We've been together 25 years, and it's like, you know, we spend all day together, and it's still, I feel like it's not enough. Like, I love that she's able to come with me and do this shit because, like, I truly just want to spend every fucking second with her that I can.
Yeah.
Because, like, it was like being visited by the ghosts of Christmas, where it's like, I was like, oh my God, like, this could have, my life could be so much different right now if she had bailed on me, justifiably so at any point. And it's like, once that realization set in, and the realizing how lucky I am to still have like everything that I have, and I didn't fuck it up entirely. Like, it's like, I got it from here. It's like, I don't need like a second chance at this shit. Like, I got it now.
Yeah.
So like having that shit, like I just feel like the luckiest guy on the fucking planet. It doesn't mean like bad shit happens every fucking day, but it's like, I got my wife, I got my kids, I have a few good friends. Everything else can fucking suck my dick from the back. It really is that simple, man.
I hear you, man.
And it's like, I just don't give
Yeah.
a fuck. It's like, I'm too old. I recognize what's important. I have so fucking much right now. Like, I have so much to be grateful for and so much to be thankful for. And one of like the benefits, I think, of getting old as fuck is that you're just able to tune out so much. Where
Yeah, dude. You
I
have
just
to.
don't care. I just don't care, man. It's
You have
all right.
to.
Yeah, I'm all right. Cool. Like, we're good. I want to go watch something with my wife, man. It's like, I want to hang out I want to go to a fucking basketball game with my kids.
Yeah, one of the nicest compliments I got when I proposed to my wife was from you, and it was a Facebook status, and I didn't realize how on perks you were at the time. So maybe in retrospect,
They were true feelings.
they were from the heart. Yeah,
yeah.
you could tell. And I don't remember the colorful language, but it was something like, congrats to my friend Pat for getting engaged. There are very few couples who, when I see they're engaged, I don't immediately and it was some like awful thing about how like every one of your friends who gets engaged, you're like, this is a fucking terrible
Like, Steve,
idea.
what are you doing, man?
There's
nothing about this which indicates success.
But apparently we were one of the only couples where you're like, I think that's a good idea.
Pat, it's like I can think of like you, Chip and Kim, fucking Samantha Russell and Brian Craig, and it's like,
Yeah.
Forgive me if anybody else is watching this and I'm not naming you, but it's like when I see like you and those two other couples, it's just like, oh yeah, that's a perfect match.
Yeah.
And it's like, she's very cool and he's a very good guy. This has got a very high chance of success.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think I'd seen you and Jaime, and then I saw Chip and Kim. They were out here like a month ago. We went out to lunch.
Oh, that rules.
Yeah, and they're doing great. So.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It really is. I don't know, man. Yeah, I say it all the time. I'm the luckiest guy on the fucking planet for a million different reasons, but yeah, it is. I feel very fortunate that life got very fun toward the back end because it's like I'm 47. Like, I'm definitely like past the midway point here.
Yeah,
And it's like, and it's, there's no, it's not depressing to think about like that being the fucking realization, but it's like, again, it's like, I get to do this now being 47. It's like, I started viewing myself as a success maybe at the age of like 44, which seems insane because I don't know any other 44-year-olds who feel like it's like, oh, I'm just not going to gain any kind of successful momentum in anything I'm doing. And then it's just like, oh, I figured it out.
Yeah.
And it's like, if it ended today, it's like, I had a good fucking 3 years, man.
Bro, you and I think the same way about a lot of things. And I always say that. It's like, even like when times get tough and I'm like, man, where's my next like gig coming from? And you worry about that stuff. You're like, I'm 42. It's like, how many guys my age still have any type of potential exciting work thing happening at all? Like the fact that how many people like our age are still pursuing like whatever their dream is? And it's not like a frivolous pursuit. It's not like a dumb thing. It's like you're making it work. It's not perfect all the time, but you're making it work. Like we're very, very lucky to be able to still do that. Like that's crazy, dude, statistically.
Yeah, it's like, and that'll never be lost. And it isn't like, and I do like that it wasn't that any of the good stuff didn't come about, from being like a 21-year-old with a fucking dream and a desire to do this. It's like, it's kind of fucking old as fuck, working multiple jobs, doing really hard work, and then just like doing creative shit when I could, and then, feeling like you're going insane because when you're working full time and then trying to do what you really want to do, it's this insane battle. It's like you're never fully present in either thing, and it never feels like you have time to yourself because it's like, all right, I'm going to work my balls off and then do this creative thing, get a few hours of sleep, and then I'm at work tired as fuck because I was doing the thing I really enjoyed. But now I got to do this thing where I really need to make money, and then after this, I got to go do the thing I enjoy, but I'm going to be tired as fuck, so I can't be present. It's just years and years and years of that.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know there's so many other people out there doing this. Like, there's so many guys that I see where it's just they're fucking doing everything they need to do at jobs where they know they're not suited for, because they're setting up their next thing, which is often like
means to an end.
A business where it's just like, just a fucking business that's like a passion.
Yeah.
Like there's somebody I know, my friend Evan, who I met through like Dad Meet. He started a YouTube channel. It's like he loves fucking working on tractors, and it's like he just started a YouTube channel showing like him working on tractors, and it's like, it's captivating to me because he's so into it.
Yes.
I don't know a fucking thing about tractors.
I hear you on that.
But I clicked on it just because I like him, and I was like, oh, this, I want to see what he's doing. And it was just like, I could watch 1,000 of these.
Yeah.
And this is a guy who works his fucking dick off and is doing this just because he likes doing it. But there's no doubt in my mind that thing's going to be successful to the point where like he's getting people who know nothing about tractors watching this thing because of how enthusiastic he is about this. And there's no doubt in my mind that I wouldn't be shocked if in 6 months he's like, yeah, this is all I do is make YouTube videos about tractors now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the kind of shit that's exciting to see, because when people are fucking working their fucking dicks off at the jobs they have to fucking work at to make ends meet, and are just like, I'm going to chip away at this thing that I really want to do.
Yeah.
And then you really fucking do it, and then one day it's just like, wait, I'm actually fucking doing this thing.
By the way, it's funny. Like I'm just joking, but because I know everything you're saying is real. But it is funny that last night we were like, I think we almost killed a guy with our thoughts. So it's like we turned the camera on, and it's like nothing but positivity for an hour. It's like, isn't life great? Aren't we the luckiest guys?
We're very powerful, lucky guys.
Yeah, exactly. We wish nothing but the best for everybody.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is insane, man. It's, dude. Dude, speaking of that, is like there's times where like I really have to like check myself relative to like thoughts and thinking positive thoughts. Like Jaime and I went out to eat like before this, and there was like there's a Mediterranean place like on the next block, and we got fucking shawarma and pita, and they give you like so much food, and they're like there was like a second where I'm just like, why do they give me this much fucking food? Like, why do I need all this fucking food? Why don't they just give me half? But then I was just like, I'm being a fucking jerk off right now. Like complaining about having too much fucking shawarma. Like, what kind of an asshole complains about a fucking restaurant giving them too much fucking food?
Yeah, that's a crazy thing.
So it's not all just like, man, everything's wonderful. It's just like, no, I'm a fucking moron.
Yeah.
Who complains about having too much fucking food.
You do have to catch yourself, because I find myself, anytime I catch myself complaining about anything, I'm like, especially with like the world today, I'm just like, Jesus, show a little self-awareness. Yeah. None of this matters. None of this is that big of a deal at all.
Yeah, dude. It's, I'm very thankful to be doing this. And, dude, I'm thankful to fucking talk to you today, man.
Bro,
You're the fucking best. Pat, what do you want to promote before we go? I know you got a cool fucking show in the works. Do you want to talk about that now? Or we can talk again when I come back to LA when it's like up and running.
Listen, I would love to talk to you anytime, and even not promoting anything. One of the cool things about getting into like writing and away from stand up for a little bit is like, I don't feel like I have to do like the podcast rounds to promote a thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to talk to you because like we haven't done this in a while.
That's the trick about podcasting.
On mic or off mic, right?
Dude, there was Ben Avery was at the show last night, and I was telling him, I was like, the thing I like most about podcasting is like I can trick my friends into talking to me for an hour just by giving them a microphone. Whereas like
it's true.
Whereas like if you called somebody who was just like, hey man, do you want to go to the park and talk for an hour? It would be like, No, it's like, I'm probably not going to meet you in the park for an hour, but it's just like, it's for my podcast. It's just like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like actually connecting on a deeper level and talking about shit. Whereas like if we didn't have mics, we would just awkwardly be like, man, the fucking weather, huh? You see, but before we even started, you're like, you see the Mets sign Bichette? Like that was the depth of our conversation. Now we're like, how do you feel about fatherhood? Right?
Yeah, we're talking about metaphysics and controlling fucking reality with our thoughts.
So no, what I would say is I'm getting ready to launch a thing, and it's a passion project, just like you spoke about. I don't know shit about tractors. It's something different, but I'm trying to work on like a few things this year. So what I would just ask is, follow me on Instagram at the Pat Barker. That's it. And anything I do will come up on there, and if people want to support it, like that would be awesome.
Dude, there's nobody else that I would rather hear talk about baseball than you.
Well, you're in luck, buddy, because that's the thing that we're talking about. It's and after years of like putting my energy into projects that I love but didn't have complete control over, which was really, really tough, or putting my energy into things I was being paid for and I didn't care about. It's nice to have a thing. I've been putting in hours. Like I'm learning how to like edit videos. Like I was always so bitter about that because I was like, I was one of those guys who's like, man, I got into comedy just to do comedy. I didn't want to have to like upload and edit clips and figure out algorithms and all that. And I'm still like,
I'm an artist.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm still like a little bit like perturbed that that's part of the equation, but I'm like, dude, you can either keep complaining about this until you die, or you can fucking download CapCut and quit being a pussy. Yeah. So like, that's what I've been doing. And now every day is a new adventure. I'm like, ooh, I can make the picture fade in. Yeah. Oh, okay, this is fun. So I'm working on some shit, and I hope people follow me and they like it.
Dude, it's I can listen to you talk baseball all day, man, so I can't fucking wait for it, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
But, dude, thanks for joining me, and thank you guys for watching Getting Some Head. If you're watching this on Patreon, thank you for being a patron. If you're not on the Patreon yet, please go to patreon.com/gettingsomehead for more Getting Some Head. In addition to that, too, anytime I have an idea for whether a short-term or a long-term podcast, I want to at least try it. So if you're on the $5 Big Boss Head Getter tier, you're going to get all the fucking shit that I'm trying right now, which is I do PAWG Talk, which is a podcast with my wife. And it's,
that's amazing.
Yeah, there's my wife is the premier PAWG. Oh, dude, I got to say this real quick, but I put up a joke about PAWGs on Instagram, and it's going viral right now. And the joy in seeing it go viral is that so many different prominent PAWGs are liking it and or sharing it.
Oh, my
Dude,
God.
The height of which was Alexis Blair. Do you know her?
I don't.
Oh, dude, and it's all my PAWG heads know her, but like seeing her like acknowledge my fucking PAWG joke really meant the world to me. But yeah, more PAWG stuff on PAWG Talk. No Bueno is a solo true crime podcast that I'm putting out stuff for. Grateful Chimps is a podcast where I talk all about gratitude. I really love hearing what people are grateful for, and I got a new one I'm doing too. Are you a Ken Burns guy?
A little bit.
Dude, I love Ken Burns, and he just put out the American Revolution documentary. And he put out an accompanying book. It's 600 pages. And I was thumbing through it at fucking Costco. I was like, I love all of his shit, and I just love that he did this. So I'm going to do a read-along with the book. And,
nice.
Dude, and I feel like anything I know about history is just because of watching Ken Burns' documentary when I was whacked on Percocet. Like, Percocet truly led me to Ken Burns.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's the most soothing shit to me. So I'm going to do a read-along with that and do a short-term podcast about Ken Burns' American Revolution documentary. And whatever fucking other stupid shit comes to mind, I'm going to try. And that's all at patreon.com/gettingsomhead. But Pat, I can't thank you enough. You're the fucking man, dude.
Bro, it was my pleasure. Literally anytime.
The fucking best, man. And be mindful of your words because you're more powerful than you could ever imagined. So I'm gonna wish a big dick and a what do ladies like? I don't know. Bigger brains. I don't know.
They're into the asses now.
Yeah, BBLs to all the ladies too. Bigger brains for the guys too. Bigger penises and BBLs for the ladies. And hope everybody gets everything that they want. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Later.